Welcome to another episode of the Porsche 930 project. Today, we reveal the wheels on the car and we do a couple interior upgrades. And here is the moment of truth. All that work putting these wheels back together has paid off. I gotta say, the car looks fantastic. And, well, remember that whole idea of doing a red center cap? No, we ended up going with the just the black and the gold, and I think that's a good choice. Dave, you were right. I will admit defeat on this one. I think it turned out much better than the red. So JP once again came through. He powder coated them, did a fantastic job, and I gotta say, like the car really does look pretty killer in my opinion. And it's lower now, which is good. So it took me about 4 hours to dial in the suspension on this thing. It's been quite a headache, you know, trying to get everything level and whatnot, but I think it's nice. The other thing I did upgrade was the lug nuts. You can see this is I think a pretty modern looking style right now. So I've got these monster lugs from Mackin Industries with these tiny little plastic caps. I don't know what to think of them. They do have these kind of weird holes in them, but otherwise these will be open-ended lugs. So here it is. It's a tiny little end cap, and it takes your open lug wheel and makes it kind of a closed lug. And it just screws in like that once you get thread on there, which I am failing at, but there we go. You screw it in, you pop it out, and you tell me, do you like this look or do you like the open lug look better? I am loving the dish in the back here. I just gotta say, everything does come together and looks absolutely fantastic. But the highlight here is the tires. The Continental Tires really set this car off for me in terms of stance and performance. I've been driving this car a couple days now and they're fantastic on the highway, great grip, but more importantly, they're both good in terms of fitment. And I think it really changes the look. Like, no disrespect to the Nittos that I had in the past, but they did not fit as well. That was partially my fault because I got a larger front tire, but the profile, the side profile on them was more square, and this one kind of has a nice rounded look to it. So I think I'm done with the stance on this car. It's fantastic. I'm super happy with it. So it's time to go get an alignment done because right now, I think it's a little off. Next stop is at NV Auto to get the Porsche dialed in. I actually have never had an alignment done on this car, so I'm eager to see where we're at and where my somewhat janky alignment is after the coilover install. And the verdict is, Dev, what do you think?
I mean, you should just keep driving like this. You know, just scrub the insides of those tires off with all that toe out. Be sweet.
Yeah, looks like we do have a lot of toe out. And how's the rear looking?
The rear, it would turn left really well. Everything is pointing to the left. And not enough camber. And this is going to be sporty with camber? What's the plan?
We're going to go a little bit of camber, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You know,
well, I guess...
like positive camber.
Oh, no. See, we really didn't want to have to play with the camber because that means one of you two guys is going to have to do the adjustment of it, which means having to drop the coilover down. Good times. Well, let's get to it. We're here in the rear, and if I'm not mistaken, that is to adjust... toe, right, Nam? Yes. And then this is the camber adjustment? Yes. Okay, and which one do you adjust first then?
You'd adjust the camber first and get the toe on, but usually anytime I do a rear adjustment, I do them both at the same time.
Okay.
It's just they're very, very sensitive.
Yeah, it looks like
and you don't want to be wasting time trying to do one at a time, getting it perfect, and then moving the other one.
Right. And you said we're looking probably at 2.5
degrees. 2.5, because with the ride height it's at, it's not going to get you any more positive. Factory camber on this is 0.5 degree negative, but I don't think we're going to be able to achieve that.
No, definitely not.
This was the side that was at 0.
Yeah, we got problems. This whole assembly rotates at the same time with the camber.
And I'm going to adjust the camber with this because now I've maxed out this plate.
Double adjustment. It's kind of archaic, but then again, this whole car is. We're back at the toe in the rear for a second, and this is why alignments do take time, because you unsettle the car, you shake it or move it, and all of a sudden things kind of get out of spec. So Thanks, Nam, for putting in the extra time and effort to make sure everything's lined up perfectly. And we are done. We had a little bit less camber. We were going for 0.5 negative, but you know what? We're close enough in that aspect. Like I said, it's a huge pain in the ass to adjust. And the toe is within factory spec, front and rear, and we have a bunch of camber in the rear because, well, we can't make any more adjustments to get it out because the car is just too damn low. But I like it. I'm at it once again with the steering wheel. Yes, even though I do like the steering wheel a lot, it's not necessarily a very Porsche-like look. And since the Mustang had a very Porsche-like steering wheel, the Prototipo from Momo, I've gone and swapped it. So now the Energy Quick Release on the Mustang has this steering wheel, and the Prototipo is on the Porsche. I'll lock it in with my old school quick release from Momo. I don't know. What do you think, GP? I think it looks pretty good.
I like it.
I think this is such a better fitting wheel for
really
this
is.
vehicle.
Yeah, it looks perfect.
It does, right? So that's a success on the swap. That's time to move on to the radio, which is a huge problem for me in that car. The Alpine deck is really an eyesore, and it's actually a top-of-the-line unit. The previous owner was a bit of a stereophile, so he had a huge amp and all this stuff set up in here. And he was bragging to me about how great this deck is, but I gotta say, it does not look good in this vehicle at all.
No.
Like, look, it's got this big LCD screen here.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not great. I was looking around the internet looking for something that was a little bit more retro but had Bluetooth, and that's the other problem. This doesn't have like any type of input, so I can't even plug my phone into it. I can't listen to MP3s. So sadly, it's got to go, and I was looking around online trying to find a nice period correct radio, and thanks to our buddy Paul at Injector Dynamics, he's got one of these in his Porsche. He put me on a link to eBay, so I ended up picking this thing up. It is from Germany, so the shipping is a little bit more expensive, but it's a really cool unit. I think it's called Kienzle Automotive, if I'm saying that correctly. It is a world radio, and it's got all the cool features. So it's got USB in, MP3 playback with a USB port, and all that jazz. But more importantly, I think it's gonna be much nicer and cleaner looking in this vehicle. So in order to get this deck to work, you're gonna need these connectors because it's a European format, a universal plug. And I had a hard time finding them on eBay, so I ended up buying about 20 of them off of Alibaba. So if you're looking for a set, go to our Speed Academy shop, and they'll be listed up on there. And if they're not, shoot me an email, peter@speed.academy, and I'll make sure to set you up with them. I love that, unlike most conventional cars, I can just reach under the dash here because everything is literally exposed and push the deck through. I even got the keys out, thinking that I would have to slide it out, but no, you just reach underneath, pull it out. Yeah, look at that. All right, Alpine, you are out. Let's get that sweet German deck in, but before that, looks like I've got a bit of wiring to do here on the bottom side. Oh, what a mess.
It is a mess.
Look at that. That is just a huge mess of wire. No thanks to the previous owner who decided to wire every speaker in with this thick ass stereo wire.
Yeah.
So thankfully, I've already got all my colors figured out here, so I don't have to go looking up the Porsche wiring diagram because this isn't exactly going to tell me much which speaker is what. So I'm just going to cut the wires pretty far up here, swap them over onto here, and just like that. And look at that, we are done. I even cleaned the wires up just a tad, make things look a little bit prettier. So that's the old mess, it's out. And now, it's time to put the radio in and turn it on here. Well, I'd say it looks pretty damn good. And let's see, fires up. Well, welcome. Tuner fresh. Oh,
So fresh.
looks like it works well.
Yeah.
And damn, it looks pretty nice.
It does
I think
look nice.
paired with a steering wheel now, we've got kind of a resto-modi theme going here. My nice shifter, my Wevo shifter. So I'm happy. That's a primetime deck. I kind of wish I got the Bluetooth audio though for it though.
Rookie move, PT.
I know.
Rookie move.
I forgot. USB is so 2000s.
Gotta get with the times.
They do offer one in Bluetooth, just so you guys know. My recommendation, get the Bluetooth. The last mod that I'm going to show you is a minor one, but I think a good detail in the rear here. I changed my orange turn signal lenses out to red ones, so it now matches and streamlines the red Porsche, and it looks good. So that's a wrap for this episode. If you're looking for some Speed Academy license plate covers, go to our e-store, and we also have a shop now. So if you're looking for parts, go to that. It's also located at the end of there's a link located at the end of this video. It's a good way to support us, buy some merch, help us keep this channel going.